Thursday the 9th of April. I think it's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. On top of the law. And it's pretty quiet. Streets are pretty quiet. There are people zipping about, but most people seem to be following the orders. A couple of cars over there sitting with their engines on for like 10 minutes. One of them's got one of these stupid fucking exhausts, you know? Bum 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 bum. It's like, what a wanker. Who knows? Anyway, been doing a lot of thinking about the human condition. Obviously with this situation going on, but more than that, I've been watching Money Heist on Netflix, and it's given a real kind of dramatic perspective on the human condition. And some of the things that I'm noticing that I kind of just want to mention just now that I'll go into and expand on later on seem to be a continuity between people, no matter your race or to some extent religion or your demographic. So Money Heist is about this group of people who plan to rob the Spanish Mint, and they intend to make very massive amounts of money by printing off unmarked bills. And the dude in charge is called the Professor, and he has meticulously planned this job over many years. You could say the plan is perfect, which leads me to the first point, which is no matter how perfect the plan, humans will always be fallible. He's accounted for every mistake, every angle, every retort by the police. It's a very clever plan. But as always, humans fuck it up. I don't know what it is with people. So the first thing that I recognise is that get in the way is that people's early childhood experiences affect them as an adult. In case you didn't already know. So, for example, one of the girls had quite a shitty childhood, and I think her first boyfriend died somehow. And she might have been involved with that process. And she connects with one of the dudes who are one of the other robbers, and they develop a relationship, which, by the way, is one of the rules of the game that the Professor sets: no relationships. And it's clear that her need to fill that hole that's missing, that's whatever part of her is broken, she fills that by getting into a relationship with a younger guy. And the amount of problems that this causes the team is pretty fucked up, you know? Even to the point where she's prepared to put her relationship with him in front of everybody else. She's prepared to sacrifice everything, and she does some pretty fucked up things because of her love for this guy. Which leads me on to the second point, of how powerful love is. And I was going to say something like love conquers all, which I might well say that. However, I want to add a caveat as love as a destructive force. Because when we think of the word love or the concept of love, it's easy to kind of mystify it into this kind of arbitrary experience or emotion or something that's tangible. However, I'm starting to feel like and starting to think that the idea of love is actually quite a dangerous one. And that even if it's not in the case that when you love something or someone that you're prepared to do things, you're prepared to put your love, your need for love or your love for... Oh, I think we're clapping for Boris or something. Oh, fireworks. Bravo. Bravo to the NHS. Fuck you, Boris. So, yeah, love. And I guess you could even talk about love in the context of the Tories and their love for power and greed and money. How they're prepared to put that in front of their love for their fellow man. So yeah, love is a destructive force. And it's something that I've never really put in much thought into. Which leads me to the third point, which is humans are inherently selfish. That people generally are thinking about themselves before they think about anybody else. I'm probably quite guilty of this as well, actually. And it's easy when you're in a position of a common person just living a kind of normal life to say what people that have lots of resources or finances should do or what you would do in that position. But somebody turns up with a sack of cash, you never know how selfish you're going to be prepared to get. And so yeah, I guess that's a kind of confession from my part. So we've got, no matter how meticulous the plan, you could never account for human error. So first point, the fallibility of humans. Second point, love is a destructive force. / love conquers all. Third point, the innate selfishness of humans. It's funny, the guy in the car just drove off there, the guy with the big exhaust, and I guess that's a classic example of the innate selfishness of humans. And actually sometimes I feel like if you're ignorant of something that you're doing, or if you're ignorant of, not even of anything, if you're ignorant, then can you really be blamed? I mean, I see it a lot with people with their kids, you know, getting their kids in trouble for being bad. And the kid's like, eh, what the fuck? Just expressing myself. I just want to make music. I just want to smash these pots on the floor. Like, it's not. The action in itself isn't bad, right? It's the human that's attributing the behaviour. It's undesirable and puts this label of bad on it, which is super fucking complicated psychology and a lot of projection, fucking adults who are still really children, just trying to raise children. Very bizarre situation. Anyway, getting on a tangent there. So there's the first 3 points, which are, no matter how meticulous the plan, you can never account enough for human error. Second one, love is a destructive force, slash the power of love, slash love conquers all. The third point is innate selfishness of the human being. And I think the final point that I want to end on before I start really dissecting this movie, epic. We're going to call it an epic because that's what it is. Money Heist. It's fucking epic. The fourth point is, no matter how militant the mind, we still need sleep. I'm in the second part now, which is about 15, 16 episodes in, and they're starting to get tired, they're sleep deprived, and the deeper parts of the mind, you know, they're well into the reptilian kind of framework within the mind, and it's starting to really be a driver for their situation. So yeah, those are just some points that are really coming to the front. And when I'm watching, I'm starting to look through the kind of literal context and starting to see the metaphor within that reality, and these kind of core drivers that are existing across all humans. And actually, I don't know if it's the time we're in or just where I'm at on my own journey, but I'm starting to really consider the great religions of the world, you know, and the kind of the message that the message of that has been spread mostly by the kind of major religions and spiritual systems, you know, selflessness, not what can you get, what can you give, patience, compassion, you know, the virtues, diligence, charity, chastity, all of these, what might be called in a Christian context sin, greed, gluttony, wrath, lust, you know. These factors seem to be major issues in the process of getting the job done. And there's a perfect plan that's in place. And yet these quote-unquote sins seem to be weaving their way into the story and affecting the how the plan is being orchestrated. It's easy to watch this as an outsider and say, they should be doing this, or they should be doing that, or, you know, if I was in that situation, this is what I would do, you know. I'm just not sure humans are capable. I'm not sure en masse humans are capable of attaining the highest possible virtue. It really saddens me to say that, as someone who is fallible, who definitely at times, you know, I'm lazy, or I'm not diligent, or I put myself first, or, you know, not considering the other person in the situation. It's something that I really strive for, is that highest possible virtue. But like most humans, I'm guilty. So, COVID-19, 5G, the villain. I don't think this is 5G, I think this is just a radio mast that bounces the television signals and that kind of thing. But I'm just not sure. Humans like a villain, this is true. And humans like to project themselves as the hero. but I just don't know. I just don't know if we've got what it takes.